Someone recently asked me, what is your worst small talk experience? Because I talk quite a lot about small talk on here. And the one that springs to mind is I was at a wedding quite a while ago, and the father of the bride comes up to chat, and he says to me, "Did you get here okay?" And I said, "Oh, yeah, you want to be asking the drivers that I ran off the road that instead of asking me if I got here okay, because I drive like a bat out of hell. Sure, I caused quite a few crashes on the way here. I was a bit late." And he said, "Oh, really? That doesn't sound good." And I said, "Well, I'm exaggerating. I was just saying, I was a bit late. So I did try and get here as quick as I can, but I am a law-abiding road user. I stick to the laws of the road, and I like to think I'm a courteous driver." And I said, do you see yourself as a courteous driver?" And he kind of looked at me oddly, as he would, and said, "Yeah, yeah, I like to think so." And I went, "Yes," because I do that quite a lot. As an attempt to try and, I don't know, really. I don't know what it's an attempt to do. So I didn't know what to say next, but I just thought on my feet and said, but of course you are a courteous driver, but you're the father of the bride, so we should be talking about the bride. Is she a courteous driver?" And he said, "Yeah, I like to think so." And at this point, I just went, anyway, touched him on his shoulder for some reason, and said, "I'll leave you to it. I'm sure you're very busy." And I went to the toilet just to get out of there, really. And I saw the sink, and you'd have seen in films when the character gets a load of water and starts scrubbing their face for some reason. And I thought, oh, today's a good day to try that, to calm myself down. So I got a big handful of water in the sink and rubbed my face, and noticed there's no paper towels, and there was only a Dyson hand dryer, and anyone who's used one of those will know that it's impossible to dry a whole head in there. So I thought, I'm just going to have to drip dry here. So I'm stood there drip drying, and the father of the bride comes in at that moment and sees me just dripping with water. And so I just said to him, "Sorry, had a bit of an accident. Accidentally pointed it up instead of down." And it was at that point I decided it was probably best if I didn't go to social occasions anymore.